Francis, you guys just raised a $54 million Series B at Permitflow. Congrats. We're excited to double down in this round and keep partnering with you guys. Maybe just start to give folks context. Like, what is Permitflow? What is Permitflow's mission?
Josh, first of all, thanks for that, and thank you for all your support. We're really excited to continue to partner with Kleiner Perkins on this. Permitflow is building the AI workforce for construction, starting with a world-class permitting agent.
When you surveyed this space of pre-construction, because I know that's your vision to go and tackle all of pre-construction, why did you start with permitting?
Permitting is the longest and most unreliable part of the pre-construction process. And as a result, there's a lot of pain associated with getting it wrong. You can have construction delays, you can have increased financial costs. And so if you get that wrong, it's disruptive. If you get that right, it leads to a lot more success in construction projects. This is something that, for better or worse, is in the zeitgeist today. So the current administration has had a number of executive orders focused on making permitting more efficient, more digitized. And even locally, if you look at the rebuild in LA after the wildfires, one of the biggest challenges in the Pacific Palisades is that it's difficult to get a permit for a home that you're trying to rebuild because the current home that was there before would not be permittable as it is today. So at every level, it's something that's very important for enabling more construction, more building.
So Francis, against this backdrop of such an acute problem as it relates to permitting, why build an AI native permitting platform?
To answer that question, you really got to go back to where we were just a few years ago. And so it used to be back in 2019, to get a permit, you had to walk into a building department with A4 architectural paper, with wet stamped and sealed documents. You'd sit across from a plan check intaker, and they would go through and manually, page by page, intake your application. And you'd get comments back on wide-ruled paper, manually written. And what that resulted in is permitting used to be totally mom and pop, localized, and that led to a lot of errors. It led to missed permits, to inaccuracy, to delays, to lack of transparency. And that was the status quo. COVID forced mass digitization of the permitting process. And so where back in 2019 it was largely manual, today it is largely digital. And that's what's enabled Permitflow as a company. If you think about where we are right now and how you actually do permitting, it's a very information-dense process, as is all of pre-construction. So it's a large amount of labor that goes into orchestrating information across different people, across different data sources, to create an application in a seamless, high-quality way. That is a perfect application for AI. And particularly in terms of the way we pursue the problem, we have data that we continuously ingest into the platform as we do applications. It's very structured data, and that allows us to continuously get better and better in a natural flywheel. And for us, that's really what's been differentiated. Now, as AI models have advanced, we've been able to do more and more. For example, our research agent today is able to look at our database, identify what it believes is the correct permitting requirements, reference that against what's on the municipal website, and if there's a clash or a discrepancy, can actually call the municipality, verify those requirements, update the database, and correspondingly make sure the preceding application is accurate. That wasn't possible just a few years ago, and that's what we've been able to unlock with AI.
You guys are using an AI native approach to try and solve it, but we know this is just the beginning. Why do you think permitting serves as a really good wedge into the rest of pre-construction?
So permitting is at the heart of pre-construction, indeed of the full construction process. That's in a few different levels, and I think it's important to understand that. So first of all the people of construction are involved in permitting. The architects, the engineers, the subcontractors, contractors, developers, they all provide inputs in the permitting process, and so they all collaborate within Permitflow. Also, we have all the information of a construction project. So all the architectural plans, structural calculations, scope of work information, timelines, that's all inbuilt because those are, again, inputs for permitting. But that's just the beginning. Having all those pieces orchestrated is just the core of it. What's more important is when you're excellent at permitting, when you're differentiated permitting, it gives you a right to deliver value across the pre-construction spectrum. Let me give you a few examples. A customer uploads a project to Permitflow and we'll say, hey, this is going to require 6 permits and take 4 months to get permitted. But our customer wants to know, hey, how do I make that 3 months and 2 permits, right? How can I reduce both of those degrees of complexity and time? We help with that and we're able to support that. And so you can provide guidance into the design process. Similarly, a customer wants to know when to bring an electrician on site, when to buy electrical wiring, how to think about securing Tyvek or light bulbs. Well, you need to know when you're getting your electrical permit, and because that's the longest dated and most variable part of that planning process. So we are able to provide insights across that spectrum because permitting is so core across pre-construction. These are capabilities we're already starting to deliver to our customers, and it's something we see very strong demand for. So ultimately, getting permitting right allows us to get construction right.
So Francis, I know a big part of this Series B was primarily for talent, just to expand the team. Can you just share more about that?
That's exactly right. We're looking to bring on the best of the best to accentuate our existing extremely talented team, both on the construction and technology side. We're looking for fantastic engineers, product managers, and go-to-market leaders who are looking to continue to build on this construction technology mission. In order to achieve the goals and the scale that we want to achieve within construction, we're at least going to be doubling headcount over the next year, if not more. And it's just a function of how much opportunity we're seeing. There's a lot of great product to build within our AI product suite. And then also there's so much opportunity on the sales side where we don't have enough salespeople to support all these opportunities.